Monday, the 10th of July. NATO aims for Ukraine unity as Putin watches on. Welcome to Global Voice. NATO is just hours away from its high-profile annual summit, a stress test for the alliance, with Russian President Vladimir Putin watching intently from the sidelines. With Joe Biden, Emmanuel Macron, Rishi Sunak, Olaf Scholz, and so many more world leaders attending, ambassadors of the alliance's 31 member states have been huddled together, arguing about what they can, should, or will announce publicly on Ukraine. So what is all the hoo-ha about? This weekend marked 500 days since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, grabbing land, attacking civilians, and abducting children. To Vladimir Putin's dismay, Europe and its close ally the US have rushed to Ukraine's aid, some speedier than others. Here's looking at you, Berlin, to the tune of $165 billion, £129 billion spent in humanitarian, financial, and military assistance by May this year, according to the respected Kiel Institute of the Global Economy. It's been a delicate, at times uncomfortable balancing act for individual European countries, for the European Union, and arguably, most of all, for the NATO military alliance, which includes Russia's old enemy, the United States. The conundrum: how do you send Moscow a clear message that the West won't stand by and allow the Kremlin to grab sovereign territory in Ukraine or anywhere else in Europe, while at the same time avoiding coming into direct conflict with nuclear power Russia and risking all-out war? According to US President Joe Biden, I don't think there is unanimity in NATO about whether or not to bring Ukraine into the NATO family now, at this moment in the middle of a war. He pointed out that Ukraine joining would mean that if the war is going on, then we're all in war. We're at war with Russia if that were the case. And 500 days into Russia's invasion, NATO's balancing act isn't getting any easier. Ukraine is clear. It wants an equal seat at the NATO table with all the security guarantees that go with that, and it wants it now. Or, because it recognizes NATO can't admit a new member while that state is at war, it wants at least a clear signal that Ukraine will be in the alliance. Not that the door is open for us, which is not enough, but that Ukraine will be in it, says its media-savvy President Volodymyr Zelensky. Anything short of that, he has threatened to avoid the summit altogether, to the irritation of not a few NATO members, including Germany and the US. Mr. Zelensky is a no-show. The optics of Western unity with Ukraine, aimed as a clear message to Moscow at the summit, will be disastrous. The main problem is NATO already told Ukraine it belonged in the alliance back in 2008, well before Russia's invasion. Expectations are high that NATO must now offer Kyiv something else of significance. But what? High-level diplomats from a number of key NATO nations spoke to me for this article on condition of anonymity, so as to be able to voice their observations freely.